this. Right, we start with the so-called ice bucket challenge. Now, I've seen multiple people doing this on my Facebook feed and around the internet. It's a viral campaign that Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates, have participated in, but numerous famous people have taken part.
That's right. It's become completely viral, and many people in the tech industry have caught the bug, as some are saying online. The idea is you douse yourself in ice cold water. I think we have images of Bill Gates doing exactly that. He built a contraption to drench himself with ice water. He had been challenged to do this by Mark Zuckerberg, who himself had been challenged by New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. And this is all to raise awareness for Lou Gehrig's disease, or ALS as it's known. So the idea is either you pay $100 to a charity of your choice that supports Lou Gehrig's disease, or you douse yourself in ice cold water, even if you're a multi-billionaire. So I think the idea is less. I mean, the idea, I suppose, for people who don't have a lot of means is if you can't really donate the $100, maybe you could douse yourself in ice cold water, and that will help to raise awareness. But it's kind of ridiculous when you see people with as much money as these people have opting for the ice bucket of water over the $100 donation.
Well, I hope that they would donate also.
This is what I was thinking, and perhaps I'm being unfair in the sense that they did donate and also decide to raise awareness at the same time. But several people writing articles about what we're seeing here. Ariel Pardez, writing for Vice magazine, says that this is essentially narcissism masked as altruism, because you do have a lot of people who, I suppose, go out in a t-shirt and then it's cold water and it's showing off their
wet t-shirt competition.
Exactly, showing off their gym bodies or their bikini, all this kind of idea. So it's like a game of would you rather involving the entire internet, according to Ariel Pardez. So she's clearly not convinced by the campaign. She thinks that it's really quite narcissistic, and by the time the summer heat cools off, people will have forgotten about ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease.
Just another online trend, and there have been several of them, haven't there?
That's right, and indeed, in that same article in Vice magazine, she Ariel Pardez lists off a number of what she calls millennial #activism. Instead of doing something, you can pretend like you're doing something by posting things about it on Facebook. Now, some of the examples that she gives are Haiti. We remember that devastating earthquake going back 4 years ago. It killed 200,000 people, and it became one of the most shared topics on Facebook and on social media at the time. About around $8 million was raised in the immediate aftermath in relief funds, but still, Jade, 150,000 Haitians are living in plywood shelters and in relief camps, as National Public Radio in the US reported recently. But is anyone tweeting about that? Obviously not, because Haiti is so 4 years ago, as she rather cynically says. She also points out that Bring Back Your Girls, that campaign that raised an awful lot of awareness a couple of months back about the 276 Nigerian girls kidnapped by Boko Haram. 200 of them are still missing, and it's dropped off the radar completely. So again, I suppose there's a certain flippancy about issues like this online, Jade.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's move on now to an article this past weekend in The Observer about the Western media turning away from explaining the world. All
right, now this was by Anjan Sundaram. Now, she was a stringer in Congo for about a year and a half, going back to the late 1990s, or rather 2005 to 2006. Now, she points out that 2 successive wars since 1996 in Congo have killed 5 million people. It's a huge catastrophe, and it gets hardly any airtime or print in the media, in the print media. And basically, she says that there's a real dearth of proximity reporting nowadays. You send somebody to cover something that is making news, and then they're brought out of there soon afterwards. But there's little sustained reporting in zones that often merit sustained reporting. And so she says that these stories are ignored, often forgotten. The world saw Congo as a violent place, but not worth reporting on unless the story was spectacular or gruesome. And
Should go into any of the details as to perhaps why they're getting pulled out of these?
Well, often it is financial, and news organisations say that immersive reporting is prohibitively expensive. But her point is that stringers on the ground are not prohibitively expensive.
It's dangerous.
And it is often quite dangerous indeed. But that sometimes correspondence, a lot of money is spent on sending correspondence in, where perhaps stringers should also take priority because they often know the ground better.
Absolutely. Very interesting. All right.
Indeed.
Thanks very
Jade.
much for that, James Creedon. We're going to take a short break, but stay with us for Frontline Cat. More news coming up in just a few minutes.